Hello, and welcome to our Saturday PPTQ here at GameSwap Mason in Cincinnati, Ohio. Looks like we're going to be having...
I think it's 6 rounds?
it's 41 players today. So 6 rounds with a cut to top 8.
Lots of standard Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
What could be better way? Yeah, what could be a better way to spend your Saturday?
To watch us, watching them.
We're magical.
Watching you.
We're the best. You know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, and right now here in our first round, we're going to have Teresa Pho and Rebecka Aten. And we're not quite sure. We know Rebecca's on blue-white control. Not quite sure what Teresa's on so far.
What? I don't. So I know Teresa is a limited player, right? And I've actually never seen her play constructed before.
I've played with Teresa a few times in PPTQs. So.
I just don't know what styles of deck she tends to be on.
I've seen everything, so it could be anything. It looks like Teresa's on Izzet Drakes, so
I've heard that's a good deck.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent deck. Looks like a Sulphur Falls an island. Looked like there was a Discovery Dispersal, and some other Izzet Drakes cards. So and a Spell Pierce,
there we go.
Which is going to be pretty good against blue-white control. So if Rebecka has things like Settle the Wreckage, Steal Away, things of that nature in her deck. Then she's probably heavily favored here.
Smooth sailing. Well, I guess it depends. So the weird thing about this matchup is that just the first 4 to 5 turns is just Teresa filtering her hand.
Yeah.
So,
and it's usually the blue-white control player setting up their turns to be able to resolve a, like, Teferi or... any of the other haymakers that they might have in their deck. Looks like since Rebecka is probably just on straight blue-white control, the win condition will most likely just be straight up Teferi.
Unless she's playing blue-white mid-range with some spicy Lyra Dawnbringer.
I see 2 Syncopates on her hand, so more than likely...
Pretty on control.
Yeah, so you're going to see stuff like... okay. So Rebecca's going to Syncopate that for 1. Teresa's going to allow that to resolve. And then pass.
I would have much rather preferred to save the Syncopate for a threat. So control decks tend to excel in this matchup.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 ways it can really go. So most games, the Izzet Drake player might have 1 or 2 Arclight Phoenixes that recur over the course of the game. But blue-white's very well equipped to deal with those via, like Zach was saying, Settle the Wreckage, Seal Away, and just get rid of them permanently.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they just have to spend an entire turn tapping out to have something get syncopated for 1.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
And I think the both these players took a mulligan to 6.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Normally the Izzet Drake's deck mulligans very well.
Exceptionally well.
But the issue here is if you're sitting there spinning your wheels and you have no pressure on the board, and
right,
you're just going to allow Rebecka to continue to sit there and navigate their draws consistently, you're slowly going to lose this race. So unless Teresa is able to get something going here soon, she's not going to be able to overtake this blue-white control deck.
Indeed.
And I think Rebecka here is going to go ahead and syncopate that again. Syncopate for 2. And really this is just a nod to using your mana each and every turn. More than likely Rebecka is setting up for a Chemister's Insight.
There we go.
Yeah, another line. Oh, nope.
Missing land drops is a little bad.
Yeah.
But it feels like Rebecka indeed picked up on the fact that Teresa's like flooding out and trying to sculpt her.
Oh, yeah. And these Izzet Drake's deck tend to do that because they'll sit there and they'll try to hit their land drops consistently and not do anything. I think this is going to get Sinister sabotaged.
Oh, yeah. But I was getting at the fact that most of the time I'm not a huge fan of...
Yeah, it goes into the graveyard.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, it's as good as having it on top, I guess.
Yeah.
But usually it's not terribly relevant to be countering cantrips, but it feels like Rebecca's game sense really kicked in.
Well,
there.
the cantrips Rebecca has chosen to counter are the ones that allow Teresa to sculpt a little bit better with Discovery.
Yeah.
So Teresa's able to sculpt her next draw and her next like couple turns if the cards there are decent, and able to get rid of like a couple different terrible cards, say more lands.
I'm a huge fan of it in this case. Oh.
Okay, another Sinister Sabotage. Going to get another...
Is that a seal away?
I think it was a seal away.
I like that. Just deal with an Arclight Phoenix at some point.
It actually is going to take care of the Goblin Electromancer right here. I mean, that's fine too. Like, you're under a little bit of pressure, not a ton, with the Electromancer out.
This is a really odd window for Teresa, though.
Teresa's stuck on, well, has 5 lands, going to chart the course, going to have to discard a card. No Phoenixes in the graveyard. Yeah, going to have probably discard a Mountain here.
Which is always very odd to see after 20 cards.
You know this Lava Coil in your hand is not going to be very good either. More than likely, Rebecca is not playing creatures, at least main deck. So... And we know that Izzet Drake's deck does not play counter magic main deck generally. They may play
maybe a Spell Pierce.
Maybe a Spell Pierce. Yeah, but nothing major. So that's another reason why these pre-boarded games are very difficult for Izzet Drakes.
Is that a negate or an essence?
That is an essence scatter.
Okay.
It looks like Rebecca has 2 Teferis, an essence scatter, and maybe another counter spell in her hand, and I'm assuming at the end of this turn, I'm just going to flash back a Jumpstart, a Chemist's Insight. So,
I mean, well, yeah, I guess they are kind of different. One has you discarding a card.
Yeah, one discard a card, one you just pay in flashback. Okay, Teresa's going to Jumpstart at pitching a Phoenix, draw a card. Looks like she's doing another Radical Idea. So could could just play this Radical Idea, draw a card, and then shock Rebecca, getting back the Arclight Phoenix. Which Rebecca actually does not have a fantastic answer to.
Scatter, Nova, Teferi, and Sinister Sabotage. So I was thinking for a second, Teresa might want to hold on to the shock for as long as possible, but I don't think it matters too much here. Just in case. I think target her own Phoenix.
Yeah, I think putting Rebecca down to 10, getting back the Phoenix, and really Rebecca doesn't have a good answer to this.
Because Rebecca is stumbling here. Like, if she gets a land off the top, it's just probably, well, I don't know. There's just no good way for her to deal with Arclight Phoenix right now.
If I was Rebecca, I think right there in that instance, I pitch the Essence Scatter and Jumpstart the Chemist's Insight, draw 2 cards. Now, she ended up drawing her 5th land regardless and can minus on the Arclight Phoenix.
I really like plussing here.
I like minusing because if Teresa draws another Arclight Phoenix, the Teferi is dead regardless.
Fair.
And Teresa also has 6 lands, so she could play a Dig Spell and then play another Arclight Phoenix. We also don't know these lists very well. Teresa very well could be playing. Okay, I was going to say Ral. Yeah, I like a lot of the lists online are playing the Ral Izzet Viceroy
as like a one of.
Yeah, usually a one of something to because you dig so much through your deck. It presents another win condition as well.
It's also just look at 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it like I said, diversifies your threat. Look at 2.
Bend
the Phoenix. Get a chart the course. Pass the turn. And now Rebecca's under a little bit more pressure as well.
That was pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Rebecca's in a bit of trouble here, but we shall see.
Yeah.
She basically just needs an answer to Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah, if Rebecca finds like another Seal Away or something like that, I feel like she's still in great shape.
Because she... No, she burned us up. Does she have a Sabotage in the end still?
Yeah, Sabotage, Cleansing Nova, and it looks like an Essence Scatter.
I'm so glad they changed the
yeah,
2 things with Teferi.
It's
so confusing.
Now, if you're going to jumpstart the Chemist's Insight, you're trying to draw a Seal Away.
Right.
I'm just going to sit here and pressure the life total. Teresa is also getting card advantage.
What is your favorite cantrip out of the Izzet Drakes?
Probably Discovery Dispersal. I think the most important one is Radical Idea.
Right.
Because within one card, you're able to get back your Phoenixes within one turn. And now you're seeing it right now. Teresa's able to sit there and draw 2 cards, pitch a land that she doesn't need, and then she'll be able to return this Phoenix.
See, I've always had trouble figuring out if this is indeed like a good matchup for
blue-white control
decks in general, or
yeah, I mean, it is in the sense that a lot of your since your deck is so threat light, the control deck is able to easily sculpt their hands to deal with like 2 to 3 threats.
For sure. But it just feels like the longer the game goes, right, it's just kind of a ticking time bomb effect. Because if you do not have a Teferi or just anything in play to add some dimension of pressure to your opponent.
Well, Rebecka does have a Teferi in play. Yeah, I mean, you're not... Oh, there's an Ixalan's Binding, too, which is...
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one as well.
But even
take care of the Rao.
Teferi is a little awkward, right? Because Teferi doesn't actually win the game for Rebecka in a timely fashion. It just feels like Teresa is one more Arclight Phoenix away from like getting really in control here.
Yeah, I mean, it does not win the game in a timely fashion at all. But that's, you know, Teresa's going to flash back a Radical Idea pitching a Lava Coil.
Comparatively timely fashion. Because, yeah, like a lot of matchups, you just sit there with the fairy and it doesn't matter because eventually you're going to exile all their permanents.
Yeah.
Arclight Phoenix is a heck of a card.
Yes, it is. And Teresa's going to get back the Arclight Phoenix in her graveyard right now, actually, with these 2 Chart the Courses. Oh. Going to get back 2 Phoenixes, excuse me. And if you're wanting to play around Seal Away, you'll tech both of these around Teferi. If you don't want to play around, I mean, obviously you'll just send 1 and 1.
Well, we don't.
But I think you definitely want. Actually, you could send both at Rebecka because you have the. I think you have shot, and she has the shock too. That's also contingent on whether you want to play around the 3rd Syncopate or Negate.
Do we ever play around the 3rd Syncopate?
Probably not. Generally, let's play 2 to 3.
Right.
And you're surmising that Rebecca's seen 25 to 30% of her deck already. The chances of her having the 3rd one within that portion of the deck are very slim.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't play around it myself. I would send 6 at Rebecka.
I agree.
And then go for the shock now, prior to her being able to untap and Sinister Sabotage. Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
Because worst comes to worst, Teresa untaps, gets to have a go at it again after seeing 4 cards in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like the deeper you go, Izzet Drakes might actually be a favorable matchup against control. Because if all of your resources are tied up in actually answering Enigma Drake or Crackling Drake, the Arclight Phoenixes are just going to chip in for enough damage over time.
Yeah.
Have a solid way to get rid of them.
I mean, there's that mode of thinking. The other mode of thinking is that control deck
has enough of a lock on the game.
Right? Should have enough of a lock on the game to be able to dictate the flow of what resources Teresa is putting out and what type of threats she's deploying. And being able to deal with those. Yeah, and we saw Rebecka missing land drops and not being able to deploy her resources in a timely fashion. So, in regards to that, she was not able to consistently answer the threats. Otherwise, she would have been able to answer Electromancer earlier, which wouldn't have dealt as much damage as it did.
True.
The second Phoenix would have been sealed away, not dealing as much damage, etc., etc.
Do you think Teresa's bringing in Niv Mizzet here?
Oh, yeah.
As in her sideboard?
Oh, 100%. I don't see why you wouldn't. You don't even have to swing with it against.
You just sit there,
Yeah.
cast this, lightning bolt, Boros charm you.
Well, here's the thing, like, put on more early pressure against Rebecca with your Phoenixes and Electromancers and things of that nature. Continue on with your game plan, and then once Rebecca's, like, utilized a lot of her resources to deal with these threats, play your Niv Mizzet, and it's much harder for the blue-white control deck to deal with. That's not to say that Rebecca doesn't have more Ixalan's Bindings to bring in, more CLOAs, more Settle the Wreckages, which are the best cards against you. But Teresa's also going to bring in some sort of counter magic as well.
Probably negate.
Probably
some
negate.
Spell Pierce seems like a Teresa Pho card.
Yeah, some amount of, for sure, negate. I've seen Sorcerer's Spyglass in the board of some of these decks as well. That deals with the fairy.
Card.
Yeah, and that's an issue for Rebecca. Unless you're diversifying your win conditions within your blue-white control deck with like Lyra.
Do you think Rebecca is boarding into the blue-white mid-range package at all, or just going on more of a lean and mean control plan?
I would say you stick with your control plan. I don't think you outvalue these Izzet Drake decks with like shocks and stuff. Like if you were thinking about playing like History Vanilla or anything in your deck, I think that's a bad place to be right now in your control deck.
True.
I think everyone is playing shocks in some form of early removal. So
what do we do if Rebecka Aten? Do you know how to pronounce her last name?
Mm-mm.
Rebecca is playing blue-white Nexus of Fate. In some alternate dimension.
Yeah, I don't foresee that happening. I really don't like the Nexus of Fate decks now.
What would you do if you're playing a win and in for an immensely relevant event and somehow turn 20 in a game, your opponent resolves Nexus of Fate with 20 cards left in their library and proceeds to win the game?
It depends. Do they have a flip search for Ascanta?
Yes.
Oh, well, then I scoop. Because you know that they more than likely have another Nexus of Fate, probably 4. So, I mean, you're just probably not winning that match.
I mean, do you scoop or just sit in a corner and cry?
Well, you could just sit there and wait and let them dirtle out. There's like multiple ways of thinking of this.
Well, if you did win game 1, and it is late enough in the round.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. Regardless.
In the real world.
Yeah. Game 2. Looks like Teresa's hand has a lot of hit lands. Looked like a Ral of Banefire and 5 lands.
Is this a blink of an eye in Rebecca's hand that I saw?
Maybe.
I really want to play that card in standard.
That card is, I mean, it's just Into the Royal.
Into the Royal is a good card.
Into the Royal is a good card, so.
It's bad. It's Cryptic Command without the good mode.
Is that what you want to call it? And it costs 1 blue. It's a little bit easier on the mana.
Air quotations? Vocalized air quotations?
A little bit easier on the mana.
I mean, a lot of... I feel like the actual best modes on Cryptic Command are Bounce Draw.
Bounce Draw. Oh, this hand is much better. Negate, Chart the Course, negate 2 lands and a Phoenix.
What do we keep? Are there 2 lands?
Yeah.
I only see
Island and a Steam Vents.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this hand is literally fantastic for Teresa. Like I said, these Izzet Drake's decks mulligan so well. You can keep land-light hands.
You can keep land, Charticourse, and probably do fine.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't need much to continue on its train.
Let us see. Charticourse. Discard. Arc-like Phoenix.
Yep. If this resolves.
Indeed.
Could get syncopated.
No.
Looks like syncopate.
That's a pain in the butt.
I mean, these syncopates, while kind of innocuous, have been slowing Teresa down a little bit and slowing down Teresa's game plan considerably.
Another Charticourse.
Yeah. No, there's a radical idea, 2 negates, and a Phoenix. So, yeah, it's not a Chart the Course. Just a radical idea.
Okay.
But Rebecca has the answer right in her hand. Has Seal Away.
Do I see a Lyra?
Is that Seal Away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Seal Away, Lyra, Essence Scatter, Syncopate that Rebecca just used.
How many do you think she plays?
What, Syncopate?
Yeah, or
Probably,
do you think she's just seeing them?
Could be 4. Could be 4. I mean, we have no idea what these lists look like.
Land Slam Lyra Dawnbringer?
That is
I
going
want to see it.
Oh, nope.
That's a shame.
But could see a flashback blink of an eye at the end of turn to try to draw into the 5th land. Drew a Teferi. Oh. So now, you know, Rebecca's hand's looking a lot better.
If we see the 5th land.
If we see the 5th land.
Control players never have the 5th land. You know how it is.
Is that a Firemind's research or is that Crackling Drake?
I think it's a Firemind's research.
Oh, no.
Is
it's
it
a Drake. It's a Drake. Just foil, it looks like.
It looks
different because it's foil.
Oh, okay. Is the Electromancer also foil? Or is that guild stamp on all the cards now?
Yeah, the guild stamp is on all those guild type cards. Blink of an eye.
I feel like if that was, I guess you want to hold up Essence Scatter, but I'd rather take 2 and do that kind of stuff at the end of turn.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Allow that to resolve. Teresa holding up these negates, but they're not going to be very good against a Lyra. Chemist's Insight to draw here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yep.
I told you the 5th land doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's a mythical.
Banefire to draw here.
Evade.
I think I lead with the Arclight Phoenix here. I don't think that Rebecca's going to have the 3rd Syncopate. Oh. Yeah, it has to allow it to resolve. Chemist's Insight at the end of turn. Draw 2.
Binding.
Looks
or
like
is that a settle?
I think it was a settle.
Okay.
Settle the Wreckage and a Plains are the draw. And there's an island.
I really like windmilling Lyra here.
I do too. I very much so like windmilling Lyra.
Slam it.
Oh, gonna go with the Ixalan's Binding. Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine as well. But post-board, Teresa is definitely not like super heavy into the Drake's portion of this, the Drake's portion.
Yeah, I imagine you board out some number of...
might keep in the threats. Probably board out some number of shocks and lava coils because a lot of these decks are playing like 3 to 4.
Lava coil for sure, but I feel like, I don't know, it seems a little insane, but I'd probably board out like 1 Crackling Drake or Enigma Drake. They just seem...
I don't know that Teresa is playing Enigma Drake.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Some lists are not playing it. Usually the lists that are playing Ral aren't playing Enigma Drake.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Usually they're playing like a Murmuring Mystic main, which we haven't seen yet, but there's Teferi. That is going to be negated.
I'm a little curious why you're sitting on this Lyra.
I'm wondering the same thing, because the Lyra is out of Banefire range right now. And generally, these Izzet Drake decks are just playing negate. They're not playing other forms of counter magic. So a creature is more than likely going to land, and Teresa's going to have a really hard time dealing with this. Lyra,
especially on 4 lands. So the thing about just windmilling it earlier, or just any big,
it causes
swingy threat is that your opponent has to answer it.
Yeah. And, they have to sculpt their turns in regards to the Lyra.
Yeah.
So, and Teresa's already land light, so that's going to dictate the rest of the game. Going to opt here.
I don't know. There's this old rule of Magic that you should try to play things as late as possible, but sometimes that is not the case.
Yeah.
Because, does there have first strike?
That Ixalan's Binding, was it countered or was it?
It was dive down.
It was dive down, so it's still on the battlefield, actually. We'll get confirmation for that here soon, but that dive down should not be in the Ixalan's Binding should be in the
resolves and tries to target.
Yeah.
Yeah, that...
We'll get our spotter there to let them know that that's actually on the battlefield. It may not matter, but the dive down countered it, but it's still a permanent on the battlefield.
It will more than likely not matter, but for the sake of competitive
because the dive down,
it is relevant.
Yeah.
Small slap on the wrist for Rebecca. So it's just weird because Teresa is now 1 mana away from just killing Lyra with a Banefire, and we could have played
Yeah.
it 3 turns ago.
3 or 4 turns ago,
Yeah,
because I
it's been
liked
a
it
minute.
instead of the Teferi. Like, make Teresa deal with that. Teresa's going to have to tap low to be able to deal with that.
And then chances are you get a Teferi out of it.
Yeah.
For your troubles.
Whoa. Teresa's using her Banefire right now to get back these Phoenixes.
I like that.
It gets back to the Phoenixes, but now if Rebecca plays that Lyra,
yeah.
now this is like
That's
real
awkward.
bad. And here's the funny part: like she's not 1 land away because she has a Goblin Electromancer. She can do it for 5.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. That's very nice.
Yeah. And now Rebecca's taking 8, going to 10. But this Lyra's about to come down, and I feel like it's going to do some major damage.
Oh, yeah.
Do not
And another
do not Excellence Binding. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. There it
we
is.
go.
There it is. And Teresa's looking at a hand of a Crackling Drake she cannot play because of the Ixalan's Binding.
Which is pretty nifty. What do you... Well...
An Opt.
Let's do some math.
Is that 2 Crackling Drakes?
Is it?
Yeah, I think Teresa actually has 2
Oh,
Crackling
no.
Drakes.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
that is bad.
Oh.
Opt. You're right now you're just looking for a Banefire.
Pretty much. Just dig.
If you have another Banefire.
If we have another Banefire. I feel like a lot of people boarded
I think it's,
2.
I think Teresa has another Goblin Electromancer.
This is a weird game.
Yeah,
Because Teresa nets no damage if she attacks.
yeah. Rebecca, I know Rebecca has another Settle the Wreckage.
Does she?
Or not Settle the Wreckage, excuse me, another Ixalan's Binding,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's see.
And now Rebecca has a Negate.
I kind of just like getting...
Oh, get rid of that.
Yeah, just jam in there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Gain that life.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Just
Rebecca
ride
also
this.
has a Negate, negate in her hand
gosh.
as well. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Because what actual answers does the Drake deck play?
Firemind's Research in their board, Banefire.
What the heck does Firemind's Research do?
Firemind's Research is a 2-drop enchantment that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you can put a counter on it.
Okay.
And then you can pay a blue and 1 to remove 2 counters and draw a card, and then you can pay a red and 1 and remove 5 counters from it and deal 5 damage to any target.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So it is an answer, but you have to sit there and kind of cantrip your way through your deck and hope that you're able to draw that. Now, the nice part is Teresa does have a chump blocker in the Arclight Phoenix. The bad part is if Teresa draws another Arclight Phoenix, she can't cast it.
That is funny.
Same as this, these Drakes.
Because how many more? Do we have any other jump starts in the graveyard? Or are we out?
I'm not sure. I know that it's going to be tough sledding to get through this negate as well.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
This is going to be rough.
Yep. Maybe Teresa's
the
third Drake.
This is bad.
The third Drake.
Oh, this does not feel good. Any removal spell on the Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah.
Off the top does it.
I don't know that Rebecca has. Rebecca also has a Chemist's Insight that has been in her yard for quite a while.
I thought we jump started that forever ago.
Did we?
I have no idea.
All right. Yep.
It might still be there, but
That was a lot. That was a lot of bindings. That was a lot of bindings.
oh gosh.
Teresa allowing Rebecca to know that she had 3 more Drakes in her hand.
Ah, magic.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, because
I mean, that's the power of the Ixalan Binding against this type of deck, though.
yeah, against the super linear strategies where Ixalan's Binding is just really annoying. Just because
it's
kind of slaughter games on an enchantment that nobody can deal with.
Except you're not naming a card and it's a permanent that's already in play.
Right. But
it's more annoying in terms of you can still draw the cards out of your deck, you just can't play them.
Exactly. I was trying to figure out how to say that in an elegant way. It's just very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a card that deals with a problem permanent on the board and doesn't allow your opponent to play that exact.
Anymore?
Yeah. I mean,
Short of the one or two of Assassin's trophies that are running around in green black, or maybe a blink of an eye somewhere. Is there any way to deal with?
I mean, Teresa could be playing. Most likely not. Teresa has dive down and maybe a blink of an eye. That's it.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, some decks play a one of, sometimes like a two of, but more than likely Teresa is not playing it.
We shall see, because the board plan doesn't change at all for these two players, right?
No, definitely not on the player draw. Neither of these decks are fast. None of these decks have a different game plan post board.
Start the game on turns 2 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, 2 for Teresa, turn 5 or 6 for Rebecca.
Right.
But we saw the power of Lyra.
Oh yeah, Lyra's a heck of a card.
Oh yeah, and if Rebecca maybe had played that earlier, the game might have been just over faster.
I think it would have been over, but also it would have been really weird because that Banefire might have ended up just taking Lyra out of the game.
Maybe.
But,
like we said,
we shall see.
Teresa had to like sculpt her hand to like be able to deal with it as well. Let's see if Teresa gets to keep a 7 though here. She's mulligan both games.
Island Mountain cantrips.
I see a tormenting voice, a murmuring mystic.
Looks good to me.
Looks like a good hand. Yeah, absolutely. On the flip side, Rebecca has
I cannot tell.
lands.
Some very pretty lands.
Seal away, Ixalan's Binding, and a Sinister Sabotage. No white mana.
Oh, Opt is such a good card.
Opt is a great card. Opt is a very good card in this metagame as well.
Oh no. New sleeves.
New sleeves.
They keep sliding out. Oh, gosh. Teresa, you better not be cheating over there.
Teresa's for sure cheating. We're just joking.
I just saw her cut 3 cards to the top of her deck.
Doesn't matter because she's about to Tormenting Voice and draw 2.
It's fine. Spell Snare.
Yeah, definitely not getting Spell Snare. Could be Spell Pierced, but I highly doubt that.
I really do want to know how many Syncopates Rebecca is playing, though.
Well, here's like being on the draw against this Izzet Drake's deck. Syncopate has gotten a lot worse.
Just a little bit.
I would say a lot of it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a little bit, huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And here comes a Chart the Course. Which, if you're Teresa, you could play your land untapped if you really wanted this to resolve. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Your life total is
no downside to it.
Yeah.
It's syncopated for 8 billion times.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then you can resolve Opt at the end of turn anyways. All right.
What's up? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Allowing us to know what the life totals are. We're on it. Pitch.
I'm a little upset that the Izzet Drake's player has a green die.
And not a red one?
Game rule violation. Teresa, get off the camera.
So Rebecca did have another white source, by the way.
Ooh,
or a white
island?
source. That is a promo island.
From...
Looks like Rebecca might have drawn into that plane. So I think she did keep a hand with like 3 islands.
I'm pretty sure she does have the other island. She did draw into the planes, though. Yeah, I was just going to be surprised if Teresa didn't play that untapped because she has another Opt in hand anyway, so there's no downside to playing it untapped.
This is going to sound funny. What if you free roll, instead of like 2 of your islands, play 2 Water Graves so you can play the dispersal side of Discovery Dispersal?
I don't know what Dispersal does.
It says that it's an instant speed, costs black, blue, and 3.
Okay.
When it so basically each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest converted mana cost among permanents they control to its owner's hand. Then they discard a card. So it's a way to get rid of Ixalan's Binding if that's the highest converted. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and Rebecka actually had a misstep right here. Rebecka saw the Discovery Dispersal, and she revealed her hand, thinking it was Thought Erasure. Yeah,
No,
so
I missed that. That's a little awkward.
Yeah, she showed Teresa her entire hand.
How good of a
accidentally.
look did Teresa get?
Probably a pretty good one. I mean, Rebecka threw it out there.
It's
I
just,
mean,
hey,
yeah, here it
go
is.
ahead. I think I played this instead. There we go.
Yeah.
Write these down really quick. Are you allowed to do that if your opponent accidentally reveals information?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I'll have to ask a judge about that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of weird technicalities in a competitive Magic.
Yeah.
Also, I can't tell what card she just drew. Is it Crackling Jake or that one enchantment you were talking about? What are these foils? Discovery is not Sky. She left the card on.
She left the card. You can leave the cards on top, like with Surveil. Surveil, you can leave the cards on top of your library, and since you're surveilling too, you can leave them in whatever order you would want to. Raven, Storm.
You just cannot put cards on the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, we're on 3 Phoenixes in the graveyard right now.
With no way to bluff settle the wreckage?
Yeah.
It is better.
It is better scry, yeah.
I want to see Tygum scheming in Standard. If you know
yeah, no.
Think about how insane that would be.
It would be really good in the Izzet Drake stack. I actually said that...
Surveil 5.
Yeah. What's funny is I said Grizzly Salvage would be really good in Standard right now. Grizzly Salvage or Mulch. I was... on our Top Deck Productions website, we produce videos and whatnot, and I actually ran through a Standard League a green-black dredge list with, like... Stitcher Supplier
and a Zoni
and Glowspore Shaman,
Ooh, I like that
and Midnight Reaper and Ravenous Chupacabra. So if we get that in the next set, we'll be happy.
I'd love to watch some green black.
Yeah,
I love watching that.
Right there is the answer to the
what's that?
The Lyra right there.
Oh,
Beacon Bolt.
Yeah, for sure.
Beacon Bolt's the best answer right there, yeah.
And you get to play it twice?
Yeah.
Although Rebecca's a long way off.
Rebecca's got like a bunch of Crackling Drakes in her hand. Like,
you mean Teresa?
Or Teresa does, excuse me, yeah. I hope Rebecka does not have a bunch of Crackling Drakes in her hand.
Teresa has the Murmuring Mist.
The Murmuring Mystic, another Drake, Negate, looks like Niv Mizzet, and Chart the Course, and a Radical Idea.
Oh, gosh.
Here's the thing. I don't think you negate this.
I don't either. I think you just leave it. You do not care.
No.
You save it for a settle or if Rebecka taps out. Like
or another Ixalan's Binding.
Or that. There you go. Not get stranded with 3 of the core cards in my deck in my hand again.
Yeah, exactly.
Rebecka might feel forced to play something here. What?
Rebecka, was it? I'm not sure what Rebecka just drew.
It's like, what in the world is that?
It looked like another Planeswalker. But I doubt it.
What Planeswalker? Jace the Cunning Castaway?
No, not Jace the Cunning Castaway. There is a Tezzeret.
Oh, I want to see Big Mizzle here.
5-mana Tezzeret.
Does Teresa have 8 lands?
No. Teresa has 7. I definitely think you wait until you can draw. This is gonna get disdainful stroked.
That's fine.
And that is definitely fine.
It's like, sure, you got it. Whatever.
And I also think that you wait and see what Rebecka does. Rebecca's still land light here.
So do you like going on if we get a land off the top, the Niv Mizzet plan?
I think so.
First, or the Murmuring Mystic?
I think you could sit there. There's an argument to be made for both of them. I think you can still just jam these lighter threats.
Are you sure?
Electromancer, yeah, it's definitely a Niv Mizzet.
Okay.
Electromancer, Murmuring Mystic, Negate, Chart the Course. Or left in the hand for Teresa. Rebecka looks like Rebecka has like Settle the Wreckage, Teferi, multiple. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is about to get counterspelled. I don't think you want to negate this. I definitely think you want to hold that negate for the Niv Mizzet. That is.
It's just so. Oh.
Yeah. Maybe Teresa's thought process is Teresa wants to get out some amount of pressure to try to do something for Rebecca. The problem is if Teresa plays this Niv Mizzet and Rebecca has an Ixalan's binding, I think that might be an issue. There's an Ixalan's binding on the Murmuring Mystic. Yeah, there's an Ixalan's binding on the Murmuring Mystic, which is one of the least decent threats. I don't think you're worried about that at all.
Because
I
don't know. I just really like the Niv Mizzet with
Electromancer. Yeah.
In play. It's just. Well, we have 3 Arclight Phoenix.
I think you play this. You definitely play this Niv Mizzet pre-combat. You 100% play this pre-combat.
Get him.
Yep.
Let's see.
And there's a chart the course. Yep.
Lightning bolt.
Triggers. Yeah. Basically,
yeah. Draw 2, shoot you.
So draw the card first, then you're going to resolve the chart the course.
Is that dive down that I saw?
Yeah. That's pretty good. I think it was a land and a dive down. Yeah.
I think Teresa will show prudence and not attacking.
Yeah. Well, Teresa needs to discard.
What? Oh, yeah, for chart the course.
No, did Teresa discard for chart the course?
I do not believe so.
Yeah. So Teresa's going to have to discard for this chart the course. Going to discard the Electromancer. Play this, and with that dive down, this is going to be really difficult for Rebecca to do anything. This is going to get sealed away completely fine. You are saving this dive down for literally anything else.
Yeah, literally anything.
Yeah, I mean,
literally.
You're so far ahead now.
It's just I have a stupid 5/5 dragon that draws me cards no matter what.
Yeah, and
okay, you have a Teferi.
Yeah, Teferi resolves.
Teferi's dying.
Yeah, now this dive down is definitely coming into play. Trigger the Niv Mizzet. Draw a card. Shoot that Teferi. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Now, if Teresa untaps with this game might just be over.
I'm pretty sure it's
Rebecca
over.
actually had the negate, but it didn't matter.
Wait, she had the negate?
Well, she can negate the dive down.
I don't think it matters at
Teresa
all,
still draws a card and kills that Teferi regardless, though, is the issue. Oh,
it's
yeah.
Just being tucked.
Yeah, now, yeah. And then, here's the issue. It's just being tucked in a deck with literally all draw spells.
Right. Just, I'm going to draw 2 lightning bolt you. Draw 3 lightning bolt you.
Yeah, exactly.
Get back my multiple 3/2 fires with haste. I'll swing with one of them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this turn, if
Teresa opts,
there are 3 Arclight Phoenixes, aren't there? Isn't Rebecca just dead?
Yeah, Rebecca is very much dead. You got to resolve a Tormenting Voice as well. Pitching at a land, trigger the Niv Mizzet, draw a card, shoot you. Draw a Murmuring Mystic. Resolve Tormenting Voice. Draw 2 cards, shoot you twice more.
This card's so fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Niv Mizzet is kind of fair, but not really.
So it doesn't seem very fair against the control decks.
Fun fact, the Eldest Reborn is probably the cleanest answer to Niv Mizzet.
What is it? The Eldest Reborn? Yeah, it is. I mean, it is.
I think that card does not see enough play right now. It's really good.
How did she cast Tormenting Voice? That triggered. That was the instant or sorcery voice or instant or sorcery. Draw the card from that, ping, and then ping twice more when she draws the 2 cards from the Tormenting Voice.
Indeed.
So that's actually okay.
Yep.
So,
well, don't we have Arclight?
Yeah, but it's not. It's beyond attack phase. She only drew or she only cast the 2 spells prior to this.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the 3rd spell technically, but it's already past the attack phase.
I just can't believe we didn't have one more spell.
I know. Teresa actually doesn't have a very good hand right now.
Oh, what'd she have? 2 lands.
2 lands, a Murmuring Mystic. No, dive down. 2 lands, Murmuring Mystic, and a Goblin Electromancer.
Dove down the
yeah.
spell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Actually, these players only have 3 minutes left as well. If Rebecka can untap and play like a Cleansing Nova.
Let's see.
Oh, there's an Excellence Binding.
Oh.
Now, Rebecka still has to deal with these like Goblin Electromancers and whatnot.
Yeah, and like any amount of cantrips off the top will seal them too. But
yeah,
this is a good game.
yeah, I mean, all right, never mind. There's Banefire.
Oh, there we go.
There's Banefire. All right, and that's the game. Yeah, that is the game.
Banefire.
Good old Banefire. I mean, it was a good game.
That was a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of different lines. If Rebecka had found like the Lyra, I think that game had gone a lot different.
For sure.
Prior to the Niv Mizzet. But like once Teresa is able to play that Niv Mizzet, it's a lot harder.
If you're just ever able to untap with Niv Mizzet, I see it as basically impossible for you to lose.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to. Although it does happen.
Yeah, it does happen. Hey, Dig Dug. Happy Saturday.
Dig
PPTQ
Dug
here in Mason, Ohio. What?
Dig Dug 420 is the GOAT.
Is the goat.
But no, that happened to me at the PPTQ I played the other weekend. Eldest Reborn to Niv Mizzet, got back my opponent's Niv Mizzet, and they managed to draw out of it off the top to like. So they went to try and remove it, and then I countered it. They top decked the counter spell.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
that's just hard to deal with.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let's talk about this giveaway a little bit, guys.
Oh no, where'd the camera go? But we are currently giving away. Where's our giveaway? One. So we actually have 2 giveaways going on. We got first place is going to be the
Vivian Reed.
Vivian Reed.
Yeah.
And another winner will get a free. Oh, shout out.
Niv Mizzet that we just saw win the game.
You could say we are La Vivian Larita Loca.
Okay. Living Vivian Larita Loca.
I'm sorry.
And we'll talk about this giveaway a little bit more, guys. So if you're not following or if you're not subscribed to us, you get 5 points for each 10 minutes that you've watched. And then if you are subscribed, you get 10 points for every 10 minutes that you watch. If you're following us, you get 50 points for this giveaway.
Speaking of followers,
yeah, absolutely. 100 points for each 100 bits that you've cheered. And then if you decide to subscribe with us, whether it's Amazon Prime or a regular subscription, you get 500 points. So the longer you watch the stream, if you subscribe or follow, the more points you can get. You can actually put exclamation point points in the chat or exclamation point enter, and that'll tell you how many points you have currently and where you're at on our leaderboard for this giveaway.
Normally, I believe we do have a cap on the amount of actual entries you can have, but I believe there is no cap to entries.
Yeah, no cap
can
today.
Get unlimited entries to this giveaway. So win a shiny busted Planeswalkers card. So good.
Yeah. 2 highly played standard cards.
Oh my gosh. But I believe we'll be back very shortly with round 2.
I think that was the end of the round. So
Scythe 15?
Yeah.
Help me pronounce this.
What is it?
Seith.
SE
15. English is hard.
Yeah, no, English is hard.
But
we'll get it.
We will cut for a short break, and we'll be back.
We'll be right back. Yeah. Thanks, guys.